laughing at me. What's good, y'all? It's Aziza Kavibi here. And I made a chocolate cake last night, but I got too sleepy to finish it. And it was actually going to take longer. I blame my son because he distracted me. Let's just say that. But I figured, you know, we're all still pretty much home, kind of. And everyone's always asking me about my cooking and my baking. And since I have been home, I have been baking a whole lot more. So I baked my dark chocolate fudge cake last night, which my kids have been requesting. I haven't made it in forever. And I have been making this cake since I was like 10 or 11. One of the first cakes that I made, one of the first chocolate cakes that I ever made. And I've made some tweaks over the years. So back, my original recipe was really dense, but now this one is a lot lighter because, you know, I've just learned some of the science of cooking and baking as I got older. So what we're gonna do is make 2 frostings on it. Now, normally I take this cake, right? See? And I'm gonna have to do another video for when I actually make the cake. But I take this cake and I put ganache, which is a combination of heavy cream and semi-sweet chocolate, melted down, and it's really like, it's kind of like chocolate fudge sauce, but it firms up like a truffle after it cools down. So normally my eclipse cake is the ganache or chocolate fudge, and then it's topped with whipped cream, and it's like absolutely divine. So you guys missed, unfortunately, the production of the cake, but you get to see me make the topping, which is the good stuff, right? The icing on the cake. I already made the ganache from the night before because in order to whip the ganache, it has to be cold. So I made the ganache, see? And now I'm gonna whip it. The reason why I have 2 mixers is because I'm whipping cream to go on top of the ganache, and that just takes more time. I prefer to use the mixer, the stand mixer, to do that. I got skills, I can do a lot, I can multitask. I would do both, but no, I'm going to focus on one for you guys. But first, I'm gonna take a little bit of this ganache. I'm gonna take a little bit of the cold ganache and put it aside so I can melt it down and use it for decorations. So I'll just put it in here. And then we're gonna melt that later to put for decorations. Now this is really stiff. The ratio I usually use for ganache is like 1 part heavy cream to 1.5 parts chocolate chips, which is what I usually use. But hopefully it's not too noisy. When you whip it, see it's getting lighter. It gets a little lighter in color. It's not so thick and fuzzy. And then if it still feels a little dense, then you could just add a little more whipped cream. I mean, a little more heavy cream to it to thin it out a little bit. Now, Arish, my eldest, she particularly asked for this mousse. Oh my gosh, it's like a fudgy milk chocolate. Now, the reason why, too, you have to work fast. It whips up pretty fast, but you also have to work fast because what ganache does is it tends to firm up, or whipped ganache, also called chocolate mousse. There we go. Oh my gosh. You know what? I'm going to set these here to save to lick later because it tastes so good. Okay. I'm going to take one of my spatulas here and just spread this on the cake. Oh man. Now I do prefer fudge. I like the light but rich chocolate cake with a layer of fudge, which is the ganache not whipped. And if I didn't whip it, you saw how thick it was, right? So if I didn't whip it, I would have poured it onto the cake warm and then let it harden or let it firm up. It doesn't harden, but I would let it firm up in the refrigerator. And then, gosh, this would be so good just like this. Oh my gosh. But I would let it firm up and then put the whipped cream on that. Now that's my traditional chocolate eclipse cake. It's got like a black and white theme. But this one, because someone specifically requested, is going to have the chocolate mousse version of ganache. So we put that on. I know someone will lick the bowl. And now we're going to use the mixer to do the whipped cream. Now, all right. Cold bowl, cold whisk. Heavy cream. Okay, we're gonna have to come back right after this message.